So I start my second and final one-on-one session with Simon in a couple minutes. And last night, excuse me, last night I ended about 6:30. We started at noon, so a good solid 6.5 hours with a couple breaks, very short breaks. Lots of information. We worked mainly in Georgia. I'm not sure if I'm going to work in Georgia, so I'm starting to not panicking, but thinking, gosh, half of the training was taught in a state that I'm not necessarily in right now. And yes, I know we just have to pick a state to go through to learn the material so that I can go into any state and do this, because it's really about finding out the rules and regulations and where to find things and how to do the process, not necessarily learning just one state, but being able to have the tools and skill set to be able to go out and explore new states. And I get that fundamentally, but when I only have 2 full sessions, and then what happens after my 2 full day sessions, then I'm out on my own, and I just feel like I know enough to be dangerous at this point. Have you ever had that feeling? And so I'm walking into a session, this session with Simon, and I don't know what is going to be said today. And the coaches confirm that the coaching will be enough to be able to get me going to be successful. Obviously, there are no guarantees, because every student has a choice on what kind of action they take and if they follow the process and if they listen. And so I understand that that results are not typical. Successful results are not typical, because most people flat out, let's be honest, don't do crap, right? But I am a doer, and I want to be successful. I have a strong enough drive in me and a why to provide for my family. And so I just am feeling like this isn't enough. And I know that is working out of total scarcity instead of that abundance. And it's so funny how, everyone throws those words around. Oh, you're in scarcity, and it's like, oh, that is how our brain is naturally wired. And it sucks. And you have to totally fight it, because that brain is always having that negative bias, and telling you all the reasons why you can't and why you should just give up now and stay in your comfort, right? So frustrating. And I think once I have a chance to re-listen or re-watch the replays from yesterday, that will also give me a really good, solid second listen, which always brings out details that you just can't absorb all in one in the first shot. So I'm so thankful that I have the replays, because I hear some of the original students, they were phone coaching and there weren't any replays. So you just had to listen really closely and take a really diligent notes. And then hopefully you caught everything, and you probably spent most of your time saying, what? Can you say that again? Can you repeat that? And now I just let the recording get it, and I try not to impede the flow of the coaching. There are some times where I ask questions, but I try really hard not to. So I'll update you at the next break. And kind of sad, kind of like when you're on vacation and you're halfway through and you just start to get bummed because you're like, oh, I'm on the downside of the vacation. Again, that negative bias. Instead of saying, hey, I got half left, where I was like, oh, it's almost over. And I guess with learning this kind of the vastness that is in this industry, you are never going to be an expert until you have maybe 10, 20 years of experience in all markets, right? It's always going to be somewhat of a learning curve. And I just have to accept that. And it's hard to know what I don't know and to know what is possible. And that is where we kind of have to borrow that belief from our coaches, where they know it's what's possible because they have experienced it. Like, they have proven the model and they have the money in the bank to show for it. And right now I'm following the model. I haven't proven the model. I definitely don't have any money coming into my bank. I have money going out of my bank because I keep buying properties. And like, okay, I bought the property and next step in the system, right? And we're like, hope this works. I hope that this is what it is what they say it is. Don't know. I don't know. We could lose it all, right? And I guess we're $15,000 a property. Yeah, that's a ton of money. But in the end, it's not $150,000. So yes, it's still a lot, but it's not something that's going to collapse my family. So I have to keep that in mind. All right, I got to get to class. Talk to you later.